Okay, guys, so it's exactly, let's say, 1 more minute to hit the hours of 11:30 here on Premier Radio, the official frequency of TTU. And today is the day that we are launching on your women in business, women in entrepreneurship, or women in entrepreneur. And today, we have the privy to host my old and right now new friend, Miss Okantah. Yes, Miss Ophelia Okantah, or Joycelyn Ophelia Okantah, who has her own business. And we don't know, but in every business, as an business, you have a small fear being there. So we're going to have a discussion with her, have a small conversation with her, how she began, where she began from, and assist your baby or where she sees herself 5 years to come. So we have more to do, more conversation to have with Miss Okantah. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's go and be encouraged by this young woman here. Good morning, Miss Okantah.
Good morning, Jessica.
Now, she came here very early, like, me starting me show none of you. Even though none of the time no see your cry. That's I need to give you an applause. You did well. I say you did well. You've been doing well. Seriously.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Okantah. Now, before we begin, I would like you to tell us something about you. Who is Miss Okantah?
Okay. Miss Okantah is a very young woman, self-inspired, and what should I say again about myself? It reminds me of myself in primary school.
And someone will be like, so have you been here in Takoradi?
Yes, I actually grew up here in Takoradi, if I must say. And then I think I only moved out of Takoradi about 5 years ago. That is 2015.
Okay.
After school, I had my national service in Accra. And then afterwards, I got a job. And then I've been in Accra. So I just moved back to Takoradi last year, April.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a year and some few months I moved back.
To Takoradi?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now you have your own business. Now
Yes.
you do not work for anybody. Like right now you are your madam and people work for you.
Really, I love that, yeah.
And someone will be asking that, so if say moving to Takoradi a year and a month old in here, then when did you establish your business?
Okay, that's a good question. I started my business 3 years back, that is 2017.
Okay.
So I finished my service. I think I even had a job before completing my service, so I had to leave service to work. So in 2016, I started working. And sorry, my background is accountancy.
Okay.
And then you know how accountants we behave sometimes. I mean, we are so into paying attention into details. We want the right things to be done because our job is mainly with figures. So we are always careful as to how we'll go about things not to get problems. So during my my practicing as an accounts officer, let me say that, was so much into doing the right things. I mean, I'm paying too much attention to details, and
that's good.
I want to, most of the bosses I worked with, things that I move too much with the book.
Okay.
Because I want to get things,
the right things
yes,
done.
properly done. I mean, and they were also trying to make me understand that yes, you have learned, and what you learned is, what you have to practice. But when you come to the field, it's quite different.
Really?
That sometimes you have to overlook certain things. I'm not saying they were, trying to give me or
Bad.
initiate me into bad practicing. But
Okay.
I mean, they were expecting me to be flexible. And
A bit.
being so young and I've just come from school and I'm so passionate about the accounting work. And I read and I know that, no, in fact, they are telling me this, but this is what ought to be done.
Okay.
I mean, I find it quite conflicting.
Wow.
So most of the times I was having problems with my bosses.
Okay.
Yes. And well, with time I've grown to learn better. But because of the blood I had then in me, it was so vibrant and I couldn't, take my time to understand them. But they were right. They were right.
Okay.
So that motivated me that, okay, if you think you are doing it the right way and it's not accepted, why don't you set yourself up and do the right things you think?
I was about to ask the concept, the idea of establishing yourself.
Yeah.
How did it come by?
Yeah. So through the I think I know how the right thing ought to be done, and people are not allowing me to do the right thing. So I said, okay, if that is the case, I'm already having so much issues with my bosses. And one thing is, those bosses that I had mostly didn't have a fair knowledge of accounting.
Oh, okay.
So
and you doing the right thing was like,
so they didn't
you're too
really
much.
understand. Like my boss, the boss I had in Legon, she was it was a lady boss.
Okay.
And then I will demand certain things from her before I give her money to spend, and she doesn't understand. Like in the normal circumstance, when an accountant is to pay for a purchasing, or like the organization want to get a product, I would the normal thing to be done is first we have to see 3 invoices. We need to have a fair knowledge of why we should choose one invoice over the other. If it's
like deliberate about it.
Yeah, if it's not only the price variation, at least the durability of the product too should come in place. But this is the case most often. I'm issued it with an invoice. Sometimes an invoice doesn't come and I need to make payment, and I feel so reluctant to issue the money out. And she doesn't understand. Sometimes she'll just call me, what do you call yourself?
What do you call yourself?
Yes, because she thinks I'm being stubborn.
Okay.
So I think I faced those challenges because my bosses did not really have a fair knowledge of how accounting procedures work. So let me put that in so that please, if you under a boss, you don't have to go out there challenging them. If they know what ought to, if the two of you are at par, there is a consensus. There should be a consensus. That is, yes, when the instruction given, both of you are at par. Unlike me, that I had an accounting background and my bosses had different backgrounds, and they don't really know how accounting operates. And now at that time too, I should have found the best way to let them know that fine, but this is how. But yes. So please, you have to be submissive to your bosses and take it from them. True that you will learn a lot. Let me just chip in that so that they wouldn't go like, Joycelyn faced the same issue and then she went to set up her own and she's doing well. No, it doesn't work like that, please.
All right, so Miss Okantah, what are you doing now? What's your business now?
Okay, so right now I'm running a business that we offer cleaning, fumigation, and laundry services.
Okay. Fumigation,
cleaning and laundry services. Yes, please.
And you said you've established this
3 years now. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to know what is the uniqueness about your business that you want people to patronize you?
Okay.
The unique thing about it.
Okay. So, let me, if I may start from here. I was brought up by a a man that pays a lot of attention to things.
Okay.
My dad can sweep like 3 times. He doesn't care.
Oh, okay.
The fact that she has seen, I was telling a friend and said, "Oh, Yari," but I mean, so I picked that up, and then while I was growing up, I got to know that when people take my things and use them, they don't bring it back the way. Yes, so I'm always
on them.
Fighting. If you take my bucket and it comes back, I'm checking whether there's no soap for me. Yes, and there's no any, like, you see, say Jaria, seminar say I'm washing at that back, and I don't like that.
Okay.
So people will come for my bucket, and when they come, they bring it back. It has that.
Okay.
So I got so much into cleaning, and I got petty. I became petty with cleaners and those things. I'm always looking out for, and if I get somewhere that the environment is not so serene, I feel very uncomfortable. And I said, okay, why don't I get into this business, though it's way far from my career.
Okay.
But once it's business, if you understand it and you have a passion for it, it's going to work for you.
Exactly. Now, since you began, what has been your greatest fear, and how have you managed to kill this fear?
Okay, greatest fear. Well, I have a lot of fear.
Oh, share with us.
So
I'm just hoping that we have more time.
Yes, my greatest fear is to wake up one day and I can't serve my customers anymore, like folding up, my business collapsing.
Oh, okay.
That has been my greatest fear because my setup is a service-based institution or organization, so we offer services to our customers, and I'm so passionate. And what makes me so much happy is not about the money, but the feedback you get sometimes, like and then
you really love your job.
And when I get referrals, if my team are listening to me, they'll be laughing by now because I'm so much into getting referrals, and then people walking in and telling me, "Oh, your service, I really enjoyed it. I went to this place, and I think I should have been here." From
the onset of it all.
So that gives me so much joy.
That's nice. That's great to hear. Now let's come to your employment, as in you employing the people you work with, employees. What do you consider before employing them?
Okay, so I always look out for team players.
Okay.
So somebody might ask, until you work with the person, you wouldn't know whether the person is a team player or not. So I think I've had 2 serious interviews, like the normal formal interviews that you see, maybe more than a panel, and asking you all those academic questions and making you feel uncomfortable sometimes. So aside that, I always want my interview, I want my interview to be one-on-one conversation. So I will talk to you to find out, try to test all the pulse that I can, to see how you're able to control your temper and all those things. Because one thing I have realized, when the interview goes so formal, I'm not saying that a formal interview is no good, but per my level, so this goes to the new status out there. So if you go too formal, and then the person may feel rigid to share some information from you with you, yes. But if you go, I'm not saying you should. Okay, so let me say come to their level. Yes. Okay. And try to reason up with them and the rest. You see, with no time, they are going to get so comfortable, and then you will get to know everything.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So that's how I get to choose my team
Okay.
members.
Now, since you began 2017,
Yes, please.
yes, how many employees have you worked with?
Yeesh.
I don't know.
I can't count them.
So right now,
Because
no.
right now I
Yeah,
have
well,
three staff. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But man, I'm a hot blood lady.
What do you mean by that?
So I don't want to have reasons why something cannot be done.
Okay.
It breaks me down. Because I mean everything can be done if you put your mind to it.
Yes,
It can
you
be
can
done.
do
So even though I give excuses sometimes, but I don't like excuses. So if something that I can easily do, or I see that you are in the capacity to do this and more, and I don't get that from my teammates. Before, I used to feel that you are not ready
Oh, okay.
to be with the team. That's why I'm not able to tell the number of people I
you've
have worked with.
Okay.
Because if you come and you're not pulling up,
You
I
need to
will. Yes,
be drawn.
but it shouldn't always be the case. I mean, as we are growing, we are learning. So I have
Sure.
come to learn that first you have to let the person understand your concept.
Okay.
So when they understand it, then it will be easy for them to buy into it. But when they don't understand, and it's always you demanding them to do something. I mean,
Pressure.
you can bear with me that sometimes it's so difficult to
Hey.
do things that you don't understand.
I heard you.
Yes. So, I mean, they were coming and going until I came or per advice and speaking to people out there. I got
Okay.
to know that maybe I'm not really selling my concept to them well. So
okay.
they are around, but they are lost. They are just,
They.
excuse me if I may say zombies.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you say move,
Then they move.
When you
Okay,
say sit,
okay. Now, I
uh-huh.
believe that the three that you have right now, the three staff you have now, they are working very well with you.
Yes.
They understand or they have understood your
I'm
concept.
telling you, sometimes, well, let me just chip in. I'm the type that appreciates a lot. I'm not
okay.
blowing my own horn. Please
Oh.
forgive me.
Oh no, I have
But-
come to terms with that, and I have a feel of it.
Yes,
You have.
so I appreciate a lot, and my staff that I have now. I mean, I can't say
They
I'm
do
mo-
well.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
I'm happy with them, and
That's
I'm
nice.
sure they are happy with me too.
I believe so. They
Yes.
have to be. They are supposed to be happy with you. Now,
Yeah.
what is your definition for success? Yaka success up. Then about with you.
Well, success to me is a broad word,
Okay.
and how I understand my success is setting my goals and achieving them. That is success to me,
Setting your
goals and achieving them.
Okay.
because success in our age, that we think success is the flashy things that we see out there. But to me, success is my set goals and achieving them.
Okay. Now, some people think that there is this way, a pattern, some sort of formula you need to follow to become successful entrepreneur. Do you believe in that? And if yes, can you share your views?
Okay, so this is where I will say yes
Okay.
and no.
Oh, okay. Two options.
Yes, so yes, because now there are a lot of motivational speakers out there. There are a lot of books written out there to aid and guide us through our
Successful path.
achieving our goals and the rest. But it shouldn't be exactly, let's say, okay, so Amma went to school and Amma became a lawyer. So if I have to be a lawyer, I have to go to the same school Amma went to.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, no, it
Shouldn't
shouldn't
like
be.
that.
We have different destinies. We have different ways of making things happen. Let's say in our cooking procedure, we have ways that with the same ingredients, there are different procedures that people are going to use to cook.
That's true.
And sometimes the taste come out differently.
Yeah.
It depends on who cooked it. So what I will say is, it is not necessarily what somebody has been through or the path. No, it's somebody's experience. So why don't you embrace your own experience, learn your faults, pick up yourself up. I mean, you should be learning. Okay, you try. Yes, because most of the things we are enjoying today, if you go back to history to read about them, you would get to know that it wasn't achieved in a day. We all learned that in school that the person that came up with a bulb did 100 times experiment. I mean, to come out with just this bulb that now we are not even considering. I mean, so much important. All our concentration is on the cars and the phones and the rest. I mean, so it tells you that yes,
other alternatives.
Yeah, you somebody's experience wouldn't be your own experience. We have different stories to tell. That is why even we may have somebody may have same finger lengths with you, but the prints are different.
Yes, exactly.
So why would you want to follow somebody's procedure? You want to go through the same thing somebody. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
And then if I'm saying that is no, it doesn't follow a path. But yes, sometimes
it does follow
a path. It would you would have to follow you said a lay down procedure.
A formula.
Yeah. Sometimes you would have to follow it. For example, if you are or let's say you want to learn from a mentor. Yes, and the mentor is guiding you. So whenever you go to that person with your experience, the person will nurture you as to, okay, so with this, I went through this. So if you've seen this, this should be your move. So the person is guiding you through a procedure to become it, to become what you want to become. But most often, because we are different individuals and our challenges are meant to be different, you just have to be focused and put your mind to something. It's going to take time. It's going to take a while, but once you keep pressing, definitely you are going to get there someday, sometime.
Okay. Now let's move. I have like 9 minutes, but we'll still continue. The challenges, that is money-wise, time, and setback. Now, when you had this idea to establish this enterprise of yours, when now Sika Seminar, now what Jane was saying.
Okay, so it's a good question though. Me Sikasem, well, I conceived this idea, but I had nothing.
Oh, okay.
But what helped me was I was working then.
Okay.
So all the equipment that I would need in this business, I started buying them.
Wow.
So
that's a great
each month I have a budget for my business in my salary, from my salary, if I must say.
Okay.
So that was what I did, and with no time, I was able to get most of the machines that I was going to work with.
Okay. Maybe sure, one yet, but I want to ask another one. Sir, were you having time for your family? Because I know that you are on the way. Do you have time for your family? Ever since you started? New out near dear, or you are always on your business.
Okay, so if I can put some years to it, for a while I have been missed out. Unlike before, I'll feel so young and go to them, and then but ever since this vision thing came in, it has always been me after it, because I have been made to understand that whatever ought to be done should be now. So there is this saying that there's more sleep after death. So
yes.
whilst the energy is there, why
You have
don't
to
I?
use it.
Yes, and then at the end of the day, there will come a time I'll have my family to myself. They can have me 24/7, and
Yeah.
so at this time we are both learning or trying to sacrifice to
Okay.
enjoy later.
Now, any setbacks so far from your friends, from your family members? Any setbacks like bad energy? Oh, Joycelyn, I do a wala a try 1 year, one month in Ponashon Crofumpombe. Did you had any experience like this?
Yes, a lot. But like I said, I don't easily give up until
Okay.
I see the results I want. So this business I have invested twice,
Okay.
and then I remember 2018. During my pregnancy, I nearly sold it out.
Oh,
Yes.
why?
I mean, because I was in Accra and the business
Okay,
is
was
here.
here.
The people that I have entrusted it
Them
to
too.
were not taking good care of it. And
Oh,
each and every day
problems.
I'm getting calls and the rest. We had one of our contracts being cancelled. So it was too much for me during that time in my in my pregnancy. So I mean, I didn't know how to handle it then.
Okay.
So I thought the best thing to do was to sell it out. So I spoke to my partner about it, that I want to let it go so I can concentrate on other things. I mean, I can get a job after delivery and the rest. But he
Wow.
said, no. How much are you going to sell this business for? Because it's just, I actually had someone who was willing
Ready to buy
yes.
it. Oh,
He
Joy.
also ran the same business in
I thank God
Accra.
that you didn't give up.
Yeah. So
But
he
you
thinks that,
continued.
well, if I have to buy this and also come to Takoradi, why
He
not?
will.
But yes.
Wow.
So I told him about it. We sat and deliberated over it, and we realized that we came to conclusion that it's not worth it.
Oh.
So I didn't sell it.
Husby, you've done well. What in Patrick Jiway, mommy? Ah, and to Mrs. Store, yes, Okay, so Jocelyn, before I let go of you, before the time is fast spent, yes, and I need to give way for the next program.
Yes.
I'm just loving the conversation. I have one question that I needed to ask, but time and I don't know. Like, I want to know how can we women, okay, support each other in the female, industry, as in say, Obia establishing a hono. How can we support each other? How can we be a support system to each other? Women in business.
Okay. So I've read that there are a lot of eagles. Eagle.
Okay.
Anoma baako pɛ, but country bia so eagle na aduane a odi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Ghana eagle.
I don't know. I'm not asking.
Oh.
But some eagles feed on how do you call it? Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was surprised. How is he going to? So we are eagles. It doesn't mean we should do one thing. We should have one thing that, how do you call it? We shouldn't have to be doing one particular thing. That okay, a woman is into clothing, so I'm also supposed to be into clothing. And so I think that's our fear, because some of us, we think that when we get to mentor each other or we get involved with others, they are definitely going to steal our business plans and the rest. So we are quite uncomfortable helping each other. Yeah, but the men always do. All the mentors that I have come across with are men. So why can't we women also do same for ourselves or each other, instead of seeing ourselves as competitions?
Okay, so women, please, whatty? And then the first time I don't know if you know someone that you want us to talk to. All that you have to do is to get in contact with Premier FM on the MTN number that is 0247-819113, and then tell us the person's name and then give us the phone number of that person. And I can say, follow up. Now you need Besiano, you know, but you change in the studio. Now, Jocelyn, finally, if you had one piece of advice, okay, to give to someone just starting out, what would it be?
Okay, so I can say it's not easy. It has never been easy. But do not give up.
Okay.
Be focused. focus on positive energy. Like, people will tell you things, but in as much as they are telling you the negative energy, concentrate on that. Like, somebody will tell you that now say food doing food vending, a boo, why are you so you might when this comes to you, this way boo man can for chroma me who be, so it kills that dream off. And then you go to that same person or another person, delivery, and the person will tell you, oh, delivery business nala orugupo, because I mean, and you also relax. You are going to do that over and over and over, and at the end